Are we ready for a little bit of a battle between humans and AI, and also a little bit of magic that we're hoping to create for you today from our panelists? One thing I'll say just in the minutes before my panelists join, the battle between humans and AI definitely rages on. There is good and there is bad. And what we ultimately need now is to steady the waters. Is it possible for AI to have a good effect upon tech, creative and retail media and CTV? Well, all will be revealed as if by magic with these incredible panelists who are going to join me today. And I've just got to say as well, this panel is brought to you by humans, for humans with no A in sight. Hashtag just saying. So please welcome to the stage. We've got Alice Anson from Nectar 360, Lauren Barnett from Samsung Ads, and James MacDonald from Limelight Inc. joining me here. Give them a round of applause. Amazing. Welcome, welcome. Now, you've sat down, which means that I can give you the bad news that I'm going to make your life a little bit hard for this challenge. In 60 seconds or less, I want you to say your name, company, and a statement about your thoughts on human versus AI. God knows what you're going to say, but I'll start with James. Coming at you first.
Thank you, Julia. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm James MacDonald. I'm the co-founder and chief revenue officer of Limelight Inc. We're one of the fastest growing platforms in the world. AI versus human, good or bad, statement. Very simple. It's amazing, it's exciting, but it has to have human equity. It has to be controlled and it has to be directed. It's a tool like everything else.
Thank you, James. He actually hit that challenge well. Impressive. Lauren, coming to you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Lauren Barnett, and I'm at Samsung Ads, the world's largest TV manufacturer. So I didn't want to sit on the fence because I thought I've come here to talk about a topic. And what really swayed me was this weekend turning on pretty much any screen, TV or mobile, and seeing Glastonbury, which really, really showed the power of human connection. And I think however great AI is at getting you to that end destination, it's the journey that you've got to take people on. And for brands, I think that's hugely, hugely important. You need to tap into those human emotions and take people on that journey.
Perfect, love that. And Alice, taking it home, 60 seconds, name, company, and your views. God knows, I don't know what you're going to say. This could be good.
I'm Alice Anson. I lead all of the digital retail media at Nectar 360, which is part of the Sainsbury's Group. I am firmly a fence sitter. So one cannot exist without the other. From my opinion, it's how we lean into each of the strengths of both humans and AI to make the most of it.
Okay, perfect. Now, before I get into the questions, I'm going to turn to you all now. So I'm going to ask you to do something for me. I want you to, in a minute, raise your left hand if you're more on the side of humans. Raise your right hand if you're more all in on AI. Or raise both hands in the air like you just don't care if you think AI and humans can exist together. So can you raise your left arm if you're really pro, it's humans all the way. We've got a few lovers of the humans here. Raise your right hand if you're all in on AI. Oh, interesting. Raise both hands in the air like you just don't care if it's a combination. But like, wave them up. Okay. So our panelists now have to do their job of showing that they can coexist, they can work well together. So I'm going to come to you. This is a question for all of you. So I'll start with you, Alice. How is AI impacting, it can be either consumers or your business for good or bad?
So I think when we think about AI and the use of it within the retail media space, it's all around creating the efficiency within workflow management, reducing out those bits of our job that, quite frankly, we all hate, so that we can spend more time on that human connection and really kind of leaning in and listening to our partners and making the most of it. So that's where it kind of comes together in a beautiful ecosystem, if you like.
So yours is more from the consumer-led. From Lauren, from yours is Samsung Ads, CTV, good or bad?
I think it's got to be good, but it's how, as we said earlier, how they're done together. But I think the use case for consumers and businesses is the same. It's convenience, it's personalization, and it's efficiency. So that's why businesses are utilizing it to make sure that they're enhancing that consumer experience.
And James, for you, I'm imagining you might come at this from your business or from the tech industry. Tell me how AI is impacting your business, the industry.
The potential for AI in the ad tech or the technical side of it is immense. I mean, yes, we talk about efficiencies, that's absolutely right. But, it's going to pervade every part of our human existence. In the next 10 years, I mean, you're going to have a doctor that's actually going to tell you whether you're depressed or not, and he's never even met you, right? So this is already happening. From a technical point of view, yes, it's efficiency, but imagine it like shooting a bow and arrow. If you're 1 degree off with your aim here, you're 10 degrees off with your result over here. And so if you get it very slightly wrong at the beginning, if the human equity, if the human control is not there, you're in trouble. And you're in trouble far more quickly than a human could ever get in trouble. That's what AI is. So yes, it's great, but it needs to be managed. It needs to be human controlled in some way. It's a tool, an amazing one, but a tool nonetheless.
So you mentioned something there, James, and staying with you, that actually, as you said, if you're just slightly off, it can go really wrong and impact results. Do you think it's the results that should impact and sway how much we use AI tech innovation, or do you think it should be the consumer, whether that be B2B or B2C? What do you think?
Sorry, I didn't actually catch the entire question there, sorry.
So for example, in all your spaces, so we're coming at this from CTV, from retail media and from programmatic tech. And we're looking at it from the thriving in productization. And you said, if you're just a little bit off, it can really affect the decisions and the impact and the effects. But is that having the biggest impact, the end result, the impact? Or is it actually, no, what's right for my customers, what's right for my consumers?
Yeah, so it's
Sorry, very long-winded
yeah,
question.
I get it. So it's we could do it, but should we do it type question. You know, the story here is that, you know, everyone focuses on outcomes ultimately, certainly in the technology part of the world. I think our approach at Limelight is that we offer the leading edge approach, which is we will give you the opportunity of harnessing the best quality AI to deliver not just an outcome, but also to deliver an operating approach that fits your business, fits your own DNA. And I think that's really where we are. We're at the very beginning of the AI revolution, and it is a revolution. There's going to be winners, there's going to be losers. It's a little bit like when the first internet wave kicked off. So I think there's a long way to go, but from our point of view, you know, outcomes, yes, that's an easy one. But it's about how you get to those outcomes in a managed and in a qualified and in a unique way for your business.
So that's interesting, and Lauren, and I think with CTV, it's actually harder because you've got to please the consumers behind the screens, and you've obviously got to please Samsung Ads, the advertisers. Where's the balance, I suppose, on AI tech innovation and consumers?
I think it's a really interesting one, and I think as a brand you need to think with intention, but you need to understand your audience, and if you do both of those things, you're going to be able to tell a story that they absolutely lean into. At Samsung, we're in a really unique position because we're one of the only people out there who have first-party TV data, which we can couple with mobile data, so we can understand people throughout that kind of whole life cycle of their day. What are they doing when they're commuting? What are they doing at lunch? They're going on a run after work and recording it on Strava, so we can truly understand them. But then if you kind of bring it back to what yourself was saying and looking at actually that storytelling element and kind of the outcome of it, despite being sat here very, very hot, we are starting to all think about Christmas. And one of the kind of most popular Christmas ads out there, if I say holidays are coming, you'll probably all know what I'm talking about. Last year, for the first time, created their very nostalgic ad utilizing AI. And the backlash it got was not positive. Like at Christmas, people want to lean into that human experience, and it didn't land. So yes, they utilized AI. Yes, it was probably efficient, and they wanted to test the water, and it didn't work. The ad was pretty fantastic, but people didn't lean into it.
See, that is why we almost came up with this session, was it's that human touch, that B2H, you just cannot deny it. And I think if we think about, from your perspective, Alice, you've obviously got the Sainsbury's, which is very much consumer-led. There's Nectar 360, which is very data and tech-driven. How does it work for you, for your business, with using AI tech innovation, but keeping in mind those customers and privacy and other elements?
Yeah, just a meaty question there. Yeah, so it's all really about starting with what is the problem statement. What are you looking to solve through your usage of AI? If you're just going out there and looking for the shiniest thing, then actually you're not keeping the customer at the heart of everything that you do, and that's really important for us as a business. So when we're thinking about where we utilize AI, within, as I said, the media agency, for us, it's all about creating the efficiency so we can spend more time with our clients. When you look at some of the stuff that we're doing in the Argos business, we have Ask Trevor, which is built into our Argos website, which is an LLM model, which allows you to say, I've got a kid's birthday party coming up, they're like X, Y, and Z. That's great for a consumer because you're starting to kind of break down those barriers and speed up the time that it takes for them to be able to shop. Now, it can go too far, and I think some of the stuff that we are really passionate about within the retail media industry is creativity, and that for me is where AI can start to erode some of that creativity. I think it's great in giving us the time back so that we can lean into what we do best as humans, which is creating new ideas, because let's not forget, Gen AI is only as good as the data going into it. And so let's think about actually how do we become more creative and, in my opinion, utilize the AI to take out some of that pain.
So I'm going to ask you this, and this is actually to all of you, because we had some people here raise their hands on the human touch is all essential. If we think about the customer strategy, and each one of you is coming at this from a different angle, if we think about the customer strategy, what from the human touch is needed and vital to keep? James.
Great question. So we are coming at it from different angles. So my customer at Limelight, or our customers, are companies that use our technology to run their own DSPs, their own SSPs, their own programmatic trading pipes, their own networks. And so really their values and what they require is slightly different to a consumer or a consumer outcome. So from our perspective, imagine this. If everyone develops AI at the same pace, at some stage in the future, everyone will have the same level of AI. Where's the differentiation, right? So the bottom line is the human equity is your differentiation. Your human engagement is the differentiation. And you have to have these technologies as a matter of course, right? And that's really the bottom line from our point of view.
It's interesting, isn't it? Humans will always remain unique. AI is where that's just impossible for AI because it has to be the same. From
Precisely.
your side, Lauren, is there something that within CTV that the human touch has its most impact? What do you think?
I hate to be boring, but it's very similar to what James said. That kind of human element is really key. I think artificial intelligence is always going to be there to help underpin our media and optimize our media to make sure that we're serving the most relevant users. But before you get to that point, you've got to feed in the human knowledge about the audience has to be what underpin and energizes that artificial intelligence and those algorithms to be able to optimize to the outcomes that your brands are looking for.
Coming to you last, I'm going to always try and do it slightly different, Alice. It's if was one thing that is the human touch, the Nectar 360, and I don't know, I'm curious on this because it's such a data-led business. What's the one thing human touch has to do and can only do?
Yeah, I think there's a really good case study on this. So I was reading something yesterday that Anthropic let Claude basically run a small business. And two of the things that Claude fell down on was negotiation. So it didn't lean heavy enough into negotiation. And the second thing is it kind of spoofed itself from being a human. It said it was going to deliver stuff and people kind of called it out. And I think for me, that is where actually you undercover all of the stuff about AI. We are all here today to create networks, to connect with people, to create those human relationships. Ultimately, that is the power of Nectar 360. It's our teams, and that's what AI can't replace.
So I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to the audience. Can you raise your hand if you're an ad tech? It can be ad tech or programmatic, just to see the players. I know there's a lot of brands at Mavers, but I'm coming to the ad techers now. Okay. So James, you raised your hand like in the air, like you just don't care. Specifically within ad tech, within programmatic, the human touch has its part to play. Where have you seen the human touch and AI sync like magic? Where has it worked?
So I think it's really all tied up in the DNA of the operator, their secret sauce, their reason for being. What are you actually offering your customers, whether they be advertisers or agencies or networks or whoever? What is it that you're offering as a business? So where AI can actually support your efficiency and your ability to actually break barriers and move at pace and deliver ungodly values and outcomes at a pace beyond human knowledge. The truth is, you absolutely, to make it sing, need to retain your own secret sauce. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to a machine for the rest of my life, right? So that's really the point. The two of them together are extremely powerful. If you have it on your own, that's fine. That will also have an effect at a certain level, but you'll lose that DNA, that reason for being, that value that you add as a human-directed entity, which ultimately I think is the value, certainly in my part of the business.